What news?
We sent an expeditionary force to meet with Empress Leiko of the Solar Empire. However, it seems that they were intercepted by the Exovanians.
And so the curtain rises on yet another theater of war. What now?
We engage the enemy. If we are to have peace, we must fight for it.
It pleases me when you are assertive, Colonel Austin.
Battalion Wars is a hybrid third-person shooter and strategy game for the Gamecube. In it, you take the role of an officer in the Western Frontier Army as you're locked into war against the evil Exovanian army. You'll command military units like tanks, infantry, and even aircraft such as gunships and bombers. What makes the game interesting is that you can actually control and manage the action right from the battlefield, as you move and shoot with your infantry or drive around your vehicles yourself. From the very same interface, you can command your armies to follow you around and attack targets. This gives you a nice mix of thrills from an action perspective, as well as some amount of tactical challenge, since you have to intelligently manage your army's strengths and weaknesses. You can't, for example, send regular infantry after tanks. You need to think carefully about how you're being attacked, and then select a proper unit counter. So against tanks, you combat them with your own tanks, bazooka infantry, or gunships. A lot of the game's challenge stems from how well you can manage your army during the chaos of combat, as you get attacked from different sides and from different types of enemies. Sometimes the game's interface can get in the way, but as you become more familiar with playing, you can learn to overcome the shortcomings of Battalion Wars' interface. Over the course of the game's 20-level campaign, you'll unlock all the different unit types in the Western Frontier Army. The missions themselves are nicely varied, ranging from base capture to defense and even bombing runs on enemy mining operations. What makes the game really fun is the ability to quickly swap control between vehicles and troops and lead your army into combat. All vehicles are really fun to drive and shoot with, but you'll need to use your brain as well as your reflexes to be successful at Battalion Wars. We also really enjoyed the game's art style, which is clearly inspired from the cute whimsy of the Advance Wars series. As you'll see from the cutscenes, Battalion Wars avoids taking itself too seriously with its cartoonish character designs and stereotyped accents. Although it's difficult in this day and age to take a subject like war lightly, Battalion Wars does so successfully with stylized graphics and sound effects. It's just unfortunate that there isn't much to do once you've beaten the game's campaign. You can retry story mode missions for higher scores, and unlock a couple bonus missions that way. But there are no multiplayer or sandbox modes in Battalion Wars, which might have added to the game's value. Despite that caveat, if you're interested in action strategy games at all, you'll definitely enjoy playing Battalion Wars as much as we did.